Chapter 2. Fire in the Dark. The days belonged to the Spartans. Nikarkhos worked the fields like all helots, his hands calloused from the endless toil, his back slick with sweat under the blistering sun. The rhythm of the labour was ingrained into his bones, the pull of the plough, the weight of the grain sacks, the dull ache that settled into his muscles by dusk. It was a dance of subjugation, one meant to break the body and dull the mind. But the nights belonged to the Nyxidos. Under the cover of darkness, Nikarkhos trained, honed his craft, and climbed through the ranks of the secret brotherhood. He moved through the shadows, learning to strike with precision and disappear before a body hit the ground. He studied the ways of the unseen, blending into the void until he was nothing more than a whisper on the wind. Lykon watched him closely, his sharp eyes measuring Nikarkhos in ways that others did not. He saw potential, but more than that, he saw purpose. And when purpose was tempered with discipline, it became power. One night, Lykon summoned him to the ruins that served as the Nyxidos base of operations. A dozen helots knelt before a crude wooden table, sharpening blades and murmuring in hushed voices. The scent of oil and blood lingered in the air. Nikarkhos stood beside Theron, the helot second in command. A veteran of many covert missions, Theron's presence commanded respect. His eyes, dark and keen, flicked toward Lykon as the leader spoke. "There is a Spartan supply depot on the outskirts of the city," Lykon said. His voice was low, measured. "Weapons, medical supplies, rations. We need them." Nikarkhos felt the weight of the moment. This was no simple mission. It was a test, one that could elevate him further within the Nyxidos or see him broken beneath the might of their enemy. "Theron," Lykon continued, "you will lead this mission. Nikarkhos, you will assist him." Nikarkhos nodded, feeling the quiet thrill of responsibility settle in his chest. The night of the raid was a symphony of silence. Nikarkhos and his team moved like apparitions through the Spartan outpost, slipping past sentries and cutting throats before alarms could be raised. The warehouse was theirs within moments, the contents ripe for the taking. But then everything went wrong. A torch dropped. A soldier, half conscious and bleeding, screamed into the night. The barracks stirred. "Move!" Theron barked, hurling sacks of supplies toward the nearest exit. Nikarkhos turned, his blade sinking into the gut of an advancing guard. Blood sprayed across the wooden crates. The scent of iron flooded his senses. He looked to Theron, and saw him trapped beneath a collapsed wooden beam, his face contorted in pain, blood pooling beneath him. The mission was compromised. "Go!" Theron gritted out. "Leave me!" Nikarkhos hesitated. The others were already fleeing into the night, their prizes secured, but he could not abandon a brother of the Nyxidos. A horn sounded in the distance. Spartan reinforcements would arrive soon. Nikarkhos clenched his jaw, preparing to drag Theron to safety. Then, from the shadows, Lykon emerged. He had been watching all along, hidden in the periphery, letting Nikarkhos and Theron prove their independence. The mission had not been intended as a test alone. Lykon had positioned himself nearby, prepared to intervene if needed. With terrifying precision, the Nyxidos' leader darted through the chaos, his movements deliberate and controlled. He did not hesitate, did not waste energy. He lifted the beam just enough for Nikarkhos to pull Theron free, his muscles straining with quiet strength. "Get him out," Lykon ordered, his tone calm despite the imminent danger. Nikarkhos hauled Theron up, staggering under the weight. Lykon turned as Spartan shouts filled the air, his eyes scanning the darkness like a predator assessing his next move. Then, in a risky display of selfless ingenuity, Lykon reached into the flames to grab a fallen torch and flung it through a side window, setting dry crates ablaze. The flames erupted, creating a wall of fire that swallowed the doorway and blocked the path of the approaching Spartans. "Run!" Lykon commanded. The next morning, the Spartan patrols searched for signs of the raiders, but Nikarkhos and his crew had already melted into the city, leaving nothing but whispers in their wake. Lykon found Nikarkhos before midday, his expression unreadable. "You did well," he said, "but now we have a problem." Nikarkhos frowned. "What kind?" Lykon gestured toward the cot where Theron lay, his wounds bound but severe. "He was meant to leave for Athens," Lykon said. "There is a dagger hidden in a temple there. It is no ordinary blade. It bears a blessing that can bypass the shields protecting the Spartan kings." Nikarkhos's pulse quickened. "The shields?" Lykon nodded. Ares himself granted Sparta's 2 kings a divine aura, a protective blessing that makes them impervious to mortal weapons. It is why they rule unchallenged. It is why even the bravest men cannot touch them. His voice darkened. "But the gods are not united." He leaned in, eyes gleaming. "Athena does not wish to see Ares' influence grow unchecked. Long ago she blessed a dagger, a blade forged to pierce through any protection Ares grants. It has been hidden away in Athens, waiting for the right hands to wield it." Nikarkhos felt the weight of destiny settle on him. A blade that could kill an untouchable king. Lykon folded his arms. "You will go in Theron's place." Nikarkhos took a slow breath, letting the enormity of the task wash over him. "How will I find it?" "You won't," Lykon said. "Not alone." He handed Nikarkhos a folded scrap of parchment. "In Athens you will meet a woman. She is no helot, but she is no Spartan either. She knows where the dagger lies. Trust her, but tread carefully." Nikarkhos looked at the name written on the parchment. Callista. He exhaled sharply. Athens was a world away from the life he had known, but he had no choice. The revolution demanded it. Nikarkhos turned to the group of helots gathered nearby. They were battle-tested, fierce, and loyal. "In 3 days' time, we will leave for Athens. The journey is long, and we only have enough rations to support 2 other brothers," he asserted. "Raise your hand if you wish to assist." Almost everyone's hand shot up, even those who were nursing sprains and gashes from last night. "I should not have expected anything less." Nikarkhos chuckled quietly to himself. The night belonged to the Nyxidos, and soon the gods themselves would be forced to reckon with this new reality.